Hello everyone and welcome back to a time trial here on Gran Turismo. An event we can actually do rather than waiting on the infinity loading screen. What exactly are we doing? Because we're in a funky looking car. Well, we're at Sainte-Croix B. We're in the Lamborghini V12 Vision Gran Turismo car, which you can see in the background. Sport soft tyres, gold difficulty I put as hard because it can be quite difficult. And a gold estimate time of a 2-minute 1.000. So around the 2-minute 1 time, I reckon it'll be the gold time. We'll see what happens. Sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. We will see. Now, if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. If you do like this video, give it a like as well. Hopefully, it helps you out. I get a lot of comments saying these guys help you out, so I keep making them. So we'll jump straight into it now, and I'll tell you how to do this lap then, and hopefully get the gold time. So heading towards turn 1 on the left-hand side, you've got the orange painted barrier on the left or the 150 board. I tend to brake just after the orange painted barrier and before the 150 board here. The later you brake, just how you'll get it more wrong more often than not. So I'd brake earlier for this one, and I'd trail brake at the end of this one to try and get the car rotated a little bit. Okay, now on exit there's two barriers and they sort of meet with that colored bit that I've highlighted there. That is your accelerating marker, so do not go full throttle until that is at least in the center of your screen. If you go earlier than that, you'll just understeer off with the hybrid in this car. So when that's at least center of your screen, then go for it. Obviously, if you try and do it earlier, you're doing more risk there. Heading towards this right-hander, we're stopping it here. Yes, it's a weird place to stop, isn't it? Two barriers there, they sort of don't actually connect. That is a lift off and turn in moment, okay? So you're going to lift off slightly and turn in. You can accelerate it a little bit once you've turned in. It's just to stop the front nose lifting completely here. So lift off, turn in. And you notice there, I'm still on the throttle, halfway there. And as we go into this next braking zone, we're going to use the end of the curb on the right-hand side as our brake marker, okay? Now, you don't want to brake late for this corner at all. The earlier you brake, the better you can do the corner because you want to get on the inside line. It's off camber. So if you go remotely wide, you're going to lose all the time, okay? So brake early and make sure you then turn in and really clip the curb if you can. Notice how tight I take that and how slow I take it. It's so I get a good run out the corner, and there we go. It does have four-wheel drive this, so literally the hybrid will spin up and it sort of does grip if you do get oversteer, so just keep that in mind. Well, I think it's got four-wheel drive anyway. It feels like it as we head down this hill then. And on the right side, we've got the curb there. This is like your lift-off moment. I would highly advise if you're struggling for gold to lift off at this curb, okay? Just let it lift, let the car roll. You notice I lift a little bit. I'm being a bit aggressive though because I'm trying to get as close to rank 1 as I can. And as I get down this hill, on the left-hand side, I've highlighted that orange painted barrier there. That is your change gear. So if you're lifting, drop to third gear. You can brake a little bit if you need to. I've just been aggressive here, so I was definitely braking a little bit. But drop a gear and let the car roll through these corners. Then you're going to go hard on the brakes a little bit here in a straight line. Get over towards the left-hand side. And then these are your two braking markers. Okay, you've got the orange painted barrier on the left there. Or in the center, excuse me. You've got a darker piece of tarmac. That's what I use, okay? The start of that. And I'm braking just before I get to that. And you can see I've just started to go on 100% brakes here. This corner, very difficult because there's a bump at the very top of this. So you want to take it nice and slow, keep it tight, and then accelerate out. If you try and take it too aggressively, you're going to go into the barrier, and you don't really want that. So take it nice and tight, nice and slow. It's absolutely fine, and accelerate down this straight. Now, you're going to have to brake extremely early for this corner, okay? So the 200 board is your brake marker for this corner. If you try and remotely brake later, you're going to go into the barrier, trust me. I noticed that if I brake early, I can really gain a lot of time here. So 200 board, that is your brake marker. Hit the brakes. And only go to third gear for this corner, okay? You don't really need second gear anywhere unless you're trying to get a bit of extra engine braking, but that can make the car loose and actually reduce braking efficiency. Early on the throttle then as we go down the hill. Now, this is very difficult to do, okay? So we've got a line of trees on the left-hand side, so you can use the last tree that I've highlighted there, or the orange painted barrier on the right-hand side. I actually use the orange painted barrier, and I'm braking just before that hits the edge of my screen, okay? You can see I'm braking right here, but I'm using that as my reference. And you don't actually have to change to fourth gear when you get there. Hit the limiter can be good there and just stay in third gear. Now, as you go through this corner, it's all about slowing the car down, letting the car roll through the corner. Because the second you accelerate, the front lifts up and you start to understeer massively. So what we're going to use as an accelerating marker is not the start of the blue barrier. That's sort of like your get prepared moment. It's the end of the blue barrier that I've highlighted, the right one there. When I can see that, I then accelerate through the corner and then I make the corner. Use that as a really good reference, in my opinion. A lot of people are going to accelerate too early and go straight into the barrier and get frustrated very quickly. Now, as we head towards this fast right, I've actually got a marker for this one as well because we're doing nearly 200 miles an hour at this moment. So on the left-hand side, we've got the total sign that then goes into the blue and white barrier there. So on that join, that's when you're going to turn in. You can keep your foot flat. The car will make it. Just turn in and hope for the best. And as you can see here, we make it with a bit of track spare there. As we go into the braking zone then, on the left-hand side, we've got well, it's like trees near the barrier there. And essentially the first tree, you can brake there or you can brake just after that first tree. It depends how hard you want to go into this corner, okay? Now, I brake just after the tree there. as we go into the braking zone, and essentially just slow it down here. Now, you want to brake early. You want to get early on the inside of the curb if you can, and accelerate out, quick out. It's a very wide circuit here. You want to get over towards the right-hand side. I'd advise staying in third gear, okay, for this, and you're going to let off as you get to the curb on the right-hand side. Let off, and then you're going to bounce the car through this entire section. Third gear for the first part, fourth gear for the second part, okay? And that is what we're going to do here. So as we go into this left-hander, we're going to turn in here, and you notice there, I'm just letting the car roll a little bit, on the throttle a little bit, letting the car roll up to fourth gear then to reduce any understeer through here. So again, as we go into here, you're just bouncing the car, don't turn in too early here, and accelerate through the corner. And you can delay the throttle even slightly in this, because the hybrid will get you up to speed very quickly, okay? That whole section is all about bouncing the car through there. So you can actually lift off and just let the car do its thing and not worry too much. The last corner, the dead tree on the right-hand side, is your brake marker for this one. Stay wide here, okay? Stay towards the left-hand side as long as possible to get a nice run through this corner and then towards the line. Notice how late I turn in here, going for the latest apex possible, and then I boot it out of here just because of that understeer that you get with the hybrid power and it all coming in. And we head towards the line and we get a 58.1. I was really trying to get a 57, but I ran out of time, unfortunately. As we head towards turn 1, just before the 150 point, just after the red paint barrier, we turn in. We're waiting to see that marker in the middle of the barriers, then accelerate through the corner and continue on out. Okay, we're looking on the left-hand side where two barriers miss there. As we go into here, lift off the throttle, turn in, and in towards the braking zone there, just after the curb on the right side, we hit the brakes. Turn in very, very tight here. Keep the car tight, accelerate out, and continue on. Now, we're going to have to be careful of our speed here as we head down the hill then. So the end of the curb on the right side, just lift off here. If you're struggling for gold, just lift off. Then the barrier on the left-hand side, where it's red painted, you're going to drop to third gear. Now just bounce the car through here, hard brake in there where we're straight, and then hard brake into this right-hander. Keep it slow and tight here. Accelerate out, because you notice that bump there, even threw me off a little bit there. That bump is very, very dangerous, so keep an eye on it. As we go across the bridge then, we're looking for the 200 board on the right-hand side, and when we're going to hit that, we're going to hit the brakes here. Third gear, stay in third gear for this one. Just bounce the car through the corner, and then accelerate out, hoping you get a bit of hybrid power here on the exit. And stay in third gear if you're struggling for gold here, and as you go down here, look for that red paint barrier on the right side, and then just slow the car down. Trail brake all the way through this corner. You're looking for the end of the blue painted barrier there to then accelerate, and that means you shouldn't understeer into the barrier. Fingers crossed. You don't want to lift on and off constantly, because that will force more understeer. On the left-hand side, when total goes to blue, turn in, full throttle, and head towards the next braking marker, which is a line of trees down the left side, the lighter green ones there. Just after they hit the edge of your screen, you can hit the brakes. Third gear again, try and turn in, keep it tight as you can, and then accelerate out using all the circuits. Stay in third gear, over towards the right-hand side. Start the curve there, we're going to lift off. Now, it's all about bouncing the car again as we go through this left-hander. Up, short shift to fourth gear. Again, balance the car, so over towards the right-hand side. As we go into here, don't turn in too early. Just a little dab of the brake there that we did, and then be careful on exit. Don't accelerate too early. You will go into the barrier, and it'll invalidate this lap and the following lap. Dead tree on the right side for this last corner. Stay out left as long as possible. Turn in, accelerate through the corner. We're going to head towards the line where hopefully you will get the gold time, which will get you those 2 million credits, which is what you're after here with a 58.1 that I get right there. That is it in terms of this time trial guide. It can be difficult. You are going to have to get used to the car and its braking, but it does have a lot of power, and it actually is a little bit fun. I do like this circuit and this combo, so well played, PD. For this one, we're not using a track. Well, we're using a track here. We've not used it in ages, to be honest with you. If you did like it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. I really do appreciate it. And if you're struggling with last week's time trial, then you can check out that video right there. Once again, my logo's there if you do want to subscribe. A big thank you for all the support, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.